Good morning, this is Granny Sue, and I'm showing you my experiment with chicken feed this year. So I planted Reid's yellow dent corn, which is heirloom corn, and I got a lot of, and I think it's probably because of the drought, I've got a lot of very small ears. So I gathered up all the small ears and have been using this hand sheller to get the kernels off the cob. And so what I've ended up with is I am guessing maybe a little over a quart of corn kernels from about a third of the crop, because the other 2/3 I've got are larger ears and they're hung up. So just get an estimate of how much corn I get from the plot. So about 3 times of this for the whole plot, I'm guessing, and I don't know, maybe a couple quarts here. So why I'm saying all this is because this would be enough to keep me in cornmeal and throw some out for the chickens every now and then, but it certainly wouldn't be enough to feed my other livestock, such as I have some sheep, I've got a cow. So this would definitely not be enough corn for them. I mean, I can go through 50 pounds every other week. So obviously, this is not going to work for me unless I vastly expand the planting of corn next year, which I will consider to do, because I like the idea of growing my own, and I like the idea of knowing that this is, not GMO. There's no pesticides used on it. So I know that this is good stuff. In between the corn that I planted, I put black-eyed peas. And so I haven't finished gathering up all the black-eyed peas that are out in the cornfield, but I had this tub full up to the top with pods, and you can see I've got like about a quarter of that shelled. So that means to me that this is also not going to be enough to feed the chickens. Okay, so bigger plot next year. I think I'll continue to use the black-eyed peas and the corn together. That seemed to work. The buckwheat burned up and the drought didn't make it. I'm hoping that maybe some of the seeds will reseed and come in on the ground for next year. I don't know. Here is what I'm grinding this up with, and what I've done in here, I put a couple handfuls of this new corn, and the red in there, that is Bloody Butcher corn. It's very old. I had it stuffed back in the cabinet. It's from 2012, and so that's 10 years old. So I'm not going to eat that, and it wouldn't work to plant it, so I am just going to grind it up for feed. The other thing that's in here, I haven't put black-eyed peas in here, but I had some old navy or pea beans that were in the cabinet also. That was, circa, see, I cleaned out my cabinets, circa 2012, and it looked like some insects had got into a few of those. I wasn't going to eat those, and I wasn't going to use them for seed, so I'm grinding them up. And this is the Corona mill. Well, it's not it's not a name brand Corona mill, it's a knockoff. And this is the one that I told you in a previous video did not work for grinding rye. Probably wouldn't work for wheat because the berries are so small, they just slide through the teeth. They just don't grind into flour. So, but it works great for this kind of thing. And I've been, adding stuff from my pantry that is old that the chickens could eat, and running it through this mill and throwing it out for them, and they're picking it right up and using it. So, this is a useful device. I didn't want to knock it. It's just that it won't make flour. Okay, it won't make flour. This is on the very finest setting, and I'll get a very fine meal, and that's as far as it'll go. Anyway, thought I'd show you that. It's always good to test out your assumptions, right? So my expectations were a lot larger than the results, and so that means I have to make some adjustments next year. Well, God bless you. Take care. I know it's a crazy world right now. Just stay in prayer. Stay strong. Love you all.